Nicola Sturgeon was accused of failing to use her tax and spending powers to boost prosperity. The First Minister was accused of failing to use her tax and spending powers to boost prosperity, as official figures revealed. Soaring unemployment. Scotland's jobless total rose by 14,000 in the final 3 months of last year to stand at 124,000. It took the unemployment rate from 4% to 4.5%, above the UK rate of 4.4%. Over the same period, the number of people employed north of the border fell by 20,000 to stand at 2,632,000. Just under 3/4 of Scots aged 16 to 64 are in work, with an employment rate of 74.3% north of the border, lower than the UK rate of 75.2%. The gloomy Office of National Statistics data emerged just hours before the SNP's budget passed its final vote. Holyrood. It is a fundamental mistake to make Scotland the highest taxed part of the UK. David Mundell. Rivals hit at the Scottish Government's stewardship of the economy, with more than 1 million workers set to pay more tax than those earning the same south of the border. Business leaders, who have already expressed fears the hikes will damage growth and investment, warned the increases must not open the floodgates to more levies. Scottish Secretary David Mundell called the jobs figures worrying and added the Scottish Parliament has more powers than ever before to boost the economy and promote growth, and it needs to use them. It is troubling that instead of focusing on improving Scotland's prosperity, the Scottish Government is choosing to hike taxes for thousands of hard-working Scots. It is a fundamental mistake to make Scotland the highest taxed part of the UK. Scottish Secretary David Mundell called the jobs figures worrying today. 70 MSPs from the SNP and hard-left Greens supported the £201,819 budget, while 56 opposition MSPs voted against. Nationalists and Greens had already rubber-stamped plans to increase income tax rates as part of a deal to raise the salaries of middle and higher earners to fund more spending. Workers earning above £26,000 will pay more tax than if they lived in England, while those paid more than £33,000 will see bills increase compared with the current financial year. From April, a new lower 19p starter rate will be introduced for those earning £11,850, £13,850, rising to the 20p basic rate on earnings up to £24,000, then a 21p intermediate rate up to £43,430. A higher 41p rate will then be charged on earnings of between £43,430 and £150,000, rising to 46p above £150,000. To secure the Greens' support, Finance Secretary Derek Mackay agreed to hand £170 million worth of extra funding to councils. The unemployment rate rose from 4% to 4.5%. Public sector workers on less than £36,500 will also get a 3% pay rise. Those earning more will get 2%. Mr Mackay insisted his budget would use Scotland's devolved powers responsibly in a fair way and would make Scotland the fairest taxed part of the UK. He also claimed businesses were more concerned about Brexit than about his tax plans, and he was delivering stimulus, sustainability, and a stronger society. The Finance Secretary told MSPs this budget is about investing in a fairer Scotland. Yes, there is divergence from the UK. Our investments mean students don't pay tuition fees, those who are ill don't pay prescription charges, our citizens aren't vulnerable to the bedroom tax. But Scottish Tory finance spokesman Murdo Fraser highlighted warnings from councils that cuts will be needed because they are not receiving extra cash to fund pay rises. Sunday, April 9, 2017. Men, the colour of the tie is the most difficult decision they have to make every day. He added it should have been a budget for growth. Instead, it is a budget for cuts in public services and higher taxes. Both Labour and the Liberal Dems argued that the tax changes did not go far enough. Meanwhile, Green co-convener Patrick Harvey ramped up warnings his party will not enter budget talks next year without meaningful progress on local tax reform. His party has previously called for council tax to be replaced with a residential property tax, based on the value of a home, which would see bills soar for those living in properties worth more than £160,000. In a letter to First Minister Sturgeon, he said full replacement of the current system of council tax will require time for consultation, legislation and implementation. However, the initial steps must be taken in order for progress to take place over the rest of the parliamentary session. Andy Willisks, Scottish policy convener from the Federation of Small Businesses, said the budget breaks new ground but must not open the floodgates to a host of Scottish supplements, charges and levies. David Lonsdale, director of the Scottish Retail Consortium, warned household finances will be tested in the months ahead with the increase in the income tax taken with rises in council tax.